Whether you've been here before or you never left, don't let your time slip away. It's the worst kind of theft. You don't get any return sitting, wallowing in shame. It's time to put in work, bringing greatness to your name. It takes focus and dedication. We're not talking about luck. We gotta keep moving forward. Welcome to Coming Unstuck. How well do you know yourself? Probably not as good as you think. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Coming Unstuck, a Step Up to Greatness podcast. I'm your host and your greatness facilitator, Dustin Gruss. When it comes to learning more about something, the best thing that we can do is ask questions. And for what we're going to discuss today, you're going to have the benefit of not needing to ask an expert for the answers to these questions, because you're going to be able to answer them yourself. And if you answer them truthfully, you'll really have a pathway to a more happy, fulfilling, and meaningful life. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go over some self-reflection questions to help you live a more fulfilling, meaningful, happy life. So again, make sure you answer these questions truthfully as best as you can. It might be hard in some ways, but ask yourself, answer honestly, and when you get that answer and focus on the answer, you're going to be able to see a huge shift and transformation in your life. So let's get right into it. First question. What are the mistakes that I keep making over and over, and why? There's certain things that we do over and over, and we know that we shouldn't make these mistakes, but we do it anyways. And it stalls our progress, stalls our success in life. If we would just cut that thing out that we do over and over that's a mistake, and we know it's a mistake, we don't have to do much more than that to get further ahead than where we currently are. You'd be surprised at how little you have to do to be successful when you just cut out that same mistake you make over and over. For me, one of the biggest mistakes that I kept making in my life is I was careless with money. As soon as that check came in, I had a hole in my pocket that, I was ready to just throw that money back out there. Because I was having fun, living a good life, or so I thought. I was putting my money into things that really don't matter. Thankfully, I married a wonderful woman who went through her own trials and tribulations when it came to managing money. And she learned very well from it, and she's been doing an amazing job with our finances and helping keep me accountable. And because of that, we have our own house, which we just refinanced to cash in on some of that equity. We have both of our cars are paid off, and we are living a pretty good life right now. A comfortable life, because we both were able to cut out the mistakes that we made with money over and over and over. So, truthfully, answer, what is the same mistakes I keep making and why? Number 2, how do I distract myself? When you know how you distract yourself and what you distract yourself with, you know when you distract yourself then. So maybe you're always tired because you're not getting enough sleep. Well, why are you not getting enough sleep? Are you scrolling your phone, social media for an hour on end before bed? Or are you slow getting going in the morning, maybe because you're picking up your phone? I know that's a problem I've had in the past with little games I'd have on my phone. I'd be up till 1, 2 in the morning and be getting up at 6 in the morning to go to work for a full day. So when I was able to curb that and made sure that I was putting my phone on the other side of the room and made sure I just had my alarm set. Boom. I was starting to get better sleep. Or maybe you have the TV on and your TV is keeping you restless because of the blue light. One of the best things you can do is turn your TV off. Make sure you don't have any screen time, a half hour to an hour before bed. And there's plenty of apps and things that you can do using your smart devices to help with meditation or thunderstorm sounds or whatever it may be that helps relax you so you can get to sleep. Because also, if you leave that TV on, that blue light could still disturb you while you're asleep. If you roll over and are looking at the TV or you're facing the direction of the TV, that blue light still coming through your eyelids. So know what distracts you. Figure out what distracts you and you know when, and that way you can also curb why it's a distraction. Maybe your goal is losing weight and the certain route you take to work goes past your favorite donut shop, coffee shop, or whatever it may be, or you ride home. Take a different route to work so you're not distracted and you're not getting away from your goal. So know what distracts you so you can figure out when the distraction is, and you can use that knowledge to adjust what your lifestyle is. Number 3, what are my goals for the next month? When you know what your goals are, it can help you plan your days more effectively. Because if you have a certain goal at the end of the month, each day you can do one little thing to help get you closer to the goal. It doesn't have to be, okay, October 1st, I'm going to successfully complete my goal of running 30 miles. If you're a marathon runner, you might be able to do that in the first day, but someone else is not going to be able to jump that, or you're not going to have that goal of losing 10 pounds in one day. Unless if you're sitting in a sauna all day, and that's not healthy for you. So figure out what your goals are so you can take steps each day, plan your day more effectively, and it's going to help get you closer to your goal. One thing I recommend looking up is Dave Brailsford and the British cycling team. That's a great story. It's in James Clear's Atomic Habits. It's a great story about how they just did little things that improved by 1%, and it made a huge difference overall. It's called the aggregation of marginal gains. A bunch of little 1% put together adds up to a big number. So there you have, what are your goals for the next month? Next, what are your goals for the next 5 to 10 years? Some people say 5 years, some say 10. Life happens, life gets in the way. But when you set a goal, a more meaningful, bigger goal out there, and it's something that you can focus on, you're going to mold yourself into someone that's going to want to accomplish that goal. So you're going to add things that are going to help move you closer to that goal. Maybe a bunch of 1% at the time, or 0.1% if it's a 5 to 10 year goal, but it's still moving you closer to your goal. And it can be able to cut out the things that don't fit the mold of someone that would have that goal of 5 to 10 years from now. And start thinking, when you have decisions to make, would the person that I want to be in 5 or 10 years do this today? If the answer is no, then don't do it. If the answer is yes, do it. If the answer is maybe, just know that you might have to put in a little extra work because of the decision you make. Because each decision can either move you closer or further away to your goal of 5 to 10 years. But try to mold yourself into the person that is going to complete that goal 5 to 10 years from now. Next, what do I like about my life? When you pay attention to the things that you're grateful for, it's going to help have positive feelings, positive emotions. You're going to go out into the world as a more positive person, and you're going to attract more positivity towards you. So why not be grateful for certain things in life? Why not do the things that make you happy? Count your blessings, share those with other people, and help make their lives better. Because that could be another thing that you're grateful for, that you helped someone on that day. So, what do you like about your life? I'm surrounded by amazing people. My wife, my friends, people that I work with are always positive, are paying attention to what's going on with our fostering case, hopefully adoption case. They're paying attention to how we're doing during the pandemic. If there's anything we need with 2 young kids, they're offering to help. My wife and I give us time to ourselves to do things together and keep our relationship strong. My wife is amazing and does so much to take care of me and the family, and I try to make sure I reciprocate as much as I can and show her that I'm thankful for her. So pay attention to the things that you're thankful for in your life. One of the things that if you've listened to past episodes or my interviews on other podcasts, one of the things I'd suggest is keep a gratitude journal. Write down at the end of the day the things that you're grateful for that happened that day. And the next morning, before your feet even hit the ground, look over your list of things that you're grateful for. Because that's going to help spur on that positivity. So when you head out for the day, you got out of the bed on the right side of the bed, because that's where your gratitude journal was. Share the things you're grateful for with your significant other, your family, your friends, especially when it is them. Again, you might have heard my wife and I, when we found out we couldn't have our kids, we couldn't have kids of our own, biological kids, our grief counselor told us to do that. So this is one of the things that she told me that I'm taking it a little bit further with the gratitude journal, but she told us to share that each day, something that we're grateful for. And when you do that, when you know that you're accountable to someone else, that you're going to have to share the thing that you're grateful for, you start thinking, all right, what am I going to tell my wife? What am I going to tell my husband? What am I going to tell my boyfriend or girlfriend, my brother, sister, my parents? What am I going to tell them that happened that I'm grateful for today? And you start looking for it. And when you start looking for things, where there's smoke, there's fire, you start finding it. And when you start looking for it early on in the day, you're going to find it sooner. And then next thing you know, those positive things are just going to keep multiplying because you've been looking for it and it already happened. So now you're already in a good mood. You're going to get to share that thing with your significant other, family member, friend. And that's going to help so much, bring so much more positivity in your life. So what do you like about your life? Make a list. Put that as the first page of your gratitude journal. So what do you like about your life? On the other side, what don't you like about your life? Now, this might seem counterintuitive after telling you to count your blessings, but the reason I say to take note of what you don't like about your life is this is kind of like the first couple questions, or the same mistakes you keep making. You know, when you take notice and you're aware of the things that you don't like about your life, it gives you a place to start from when it comes to taking action. So by being aware of what you don't like, you can start to formulate a game plan to take those small steps, those 1%, to start getting rid of those things that you don't like in your life. While I've never considered myself an alcoholic by any means, I turned 40 this year, and I was aware of that, and I was aware that at the start of 2021 that chances of me being every day in a gym for my day-to-day work was pretty slim. I knew I had to start making decisions on how to take better care of myself physically. And one of the things I decided to do was cut out alcohol. And because I cut out alcohol, one, it's not a crutch for me for when I've had a rough day. I don't feel the need to immediately go grab a beer or wine or shot or mixed drink or cocktail, whatever it may be. It's not a crutch. I don't need it to help me feel better. It gives me the clear mind where I can open up to my wife, to my friends, to my family, and talk about what's really stressing me out, what I'm having difficulty with. And that's more powerful than anything that's in the bottom of a glass. And knowing that I wasn't going to be in a gym, even though I know how to take good care of myself when it comes to food, after being pretty much sheltered for the better part of a year, my wife and I together started this year off on Weight Watchers. And so I was managing and watching better what I eat, what I put in my body. And between the drinking and what I was observing with my food, I lost 30 pounds this year. I put a little of that back on, but I've been maintaining around a very steady 25 pounds. And that's without working out. Because I knew I needed to take better care of my body. I knew that my health was something important and I wasn't happy with where I was at, so I needed to make better decisions when it came to that. So I knew what I was not happy with in my life. And I'm so thankful that I did. Because while my wife and I have had some trying times this year when it comes to our case with the boys and so much other stuff going on, it's been such a blessing to not rely on alcohol, not have an altered state of mind, to be able to think clearly when it comes to those discussions and decisions. So take a look, don't dwell on it, but take a look at the things you don't like about your life and start figuring out the steps you can take to get that part out of your life. Start making those changes. It doesn't have to be huge, sweeping changes, just a little bit by a little bit. And lastly, for this first part, what would I do if I wasn't afraid? That's a good one. What would I do if I wasn't afraid? When you can answer this question honestly, it opens up your world to so much more if you just start taking action. Because what would you do if you weren't afraid? That's telling you what your heart, your mind, your spirit really wants. But something in your mind is talking you out of it. So what would I do if I weren't afraid? What do you got? What would you do if you weren't afraid? Like I said, your mind talks you out of taking action sometimes. So when you can take action, even small steps, you're winning that battle. You are breaking down the walls of fear. Another book I'm going to turn you to, or video if you even just want to get this smaller condensed story, is Mel Robbins and her 5-second rule, where you count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when you get down 1 to 0, take action, take steps. Because what you're doing is you're thinking of a rocket ship ready for takeoff. So picture yourself as that rocket. And so you're counting down 5, 4, 3. I'm getting excited. 2. I'm ready to, so I'm going to do it. 1. And by counting down like that, you are eliminating that chance for your head to talk you out of it. So just take action, take steps, get up, shoot yourself up out of bed, out of your chair, whatever it may be, and start doing. Move in the direction of whatever it is that you're normally afraid of. So that is the first part of questions, self-reflection questions, that when you answer them, you're going to have a more meaningful, happy life. Make sure you tune back in for the rest of the list. We'll be up soon, I promise. I won't make you wait a full week. Make sure you tune in, share this with friends or family, especially those you think will benefit from this. And then let me know what you think. Let me know if any of these have really stood out to you and you were struggling with, and you need a little talk, a little pep talk, a little action, and a little help putting one of these into action. Because I'm here for it. I'd be happy to help you out. Email Dustin@stepuptogreatness.com. As always, you can catch this podcast on your normal podcast streaming services, Apple, Google, Spotify. This particular episode is also recorded in video, so it will be on my YouTube page as well. And for all things greatness facilitating, just go to my website, stepuptogreatness.com. And if you want to sort through these questions too as part of maybe a free coaching session, and you don't mind it being recorded, that'd make a pretty cool podcast episode. So if you want to open yourself up and have someone talk you through your answers for these questions, to ask some good follow-up questions, I would love to do that. So definitely message me. Again, Dustin@stepuptogreatness.com. That's going to be it for this first part. Again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and that way you'll get notified when the second half drops. In the meantime, keep moving forward. Step up to greatness. Get out of here. Go be great.